Thomson is more than the sum of his parts.
And really the only reason is because his life was so short, it was so underdocumented. His artistic career spanned from 1911 really to, some people say 1912, I'll give him 1911 to 1917 and his death. That's such a small period of time.
So Tom Thomson was born in Claremont, Ontario in 1877. He died tragically in Canoe Lake in Algonquin Park in 1917. And in between his life and death, he basically became one of the best-known landscape painters in the country. He was good friends with members of the Group of Seven, but of course his creative career was cut short because of his tragic death. Now we don't really know how he died. There's lots of speculation out there, but that in a nutshell is who Tom Thomson was.
And Thomson was this kind of, and A.Y. Jackson would talk about him as a guide or an interpreter. Other artists had painted in Algonquin Park before Thomson, but for the group, for the artists who would become the Group of Seven in 1920, Thomson gave them that kind of backstage access to the park that allowed them to then paint their sort of Canadian project through the 1920s and into the 30s.
I grew up in Huntsville, so I have a kind of interest in his art and his life personally. But really, for me, what my interests are how his legacy and how his art really continued after his death and became really the touchstone for so many other Canadian artists' work. He's painted landmarks in this town. Works of art that were owned by people from this town have gone to important places like the National Gallery of Canada. So he's defined how we see the landscape that we love so much here.